Shalom and welcome to the Jewish quarter in the Old City of Jerusalem. Below us is the Western Wall, HaKotel HaMaravi in Hebrew, the holiest Jewish site in the world today, and an inseparable part of the history of the Jewish people. Our tour of the Western Wall begins with the temple menorah, the official emblem of the State of Israel and a symbol of the Jewish faith. We will then continue down to the Western Wall and its surrounding area and learn about this important heritage site. Our tour will end with the reconstruction of the Second Temple, realizing the 2,000-year-old Jewish dream. This remarkable golden menorah is a replica of the menorah which once stood in the temple. The finest olive oil was used to light its 7 lamps, which burned from morning to evening. According to Jewish faith, Moses was ordered by God to construct the menorah, as it is written in the Torah, the Old Testament, "And you shall make a menorah of pure gold. It shall be made of beaten work. Its base, stem and cups, spheres and flowers must all be hammered out of a single piece of gold. And 6 branches shall extend from its sides. 3 branches of the menorah out of one side, and 3 branches out of the other side." The Western Wall dates back over 2,000 years and is the only remnant of what was once a glorious compound built by King Herod on the Mount Moriah, known today as the Temple Mount. At the peak of the mount, where the Dome of the Rock is today, stood the magnificent crown jewel of the Jewish nation, the Second Temple, Beit HaMikdash. In 70 AD, Jerusalem and the Temple were completely destroyed by the Roman Empire, and the Jewish people were dispersed amongst the nations. Throughout 2,000 years of exile, Jews all over the world directed their prayers to the Temple Mount, yearning for the return to the Promised Land and the rebuilding of the Temple. The Western Wall Plaza accommodates thousands of visitors and worshippers every day. Men and women of every kind come here to pray and express their wishes and hopes to God above. During the high holidays and on special occasions, over 50,000 people fill the plaza. National events such as the Israeli Remembrance Day and Independence Day ceremonies take place here. In addition, military ceremonies and religious rituals can be seen here throughout the year, and it is not uncommon to find a boy celebrating his bar mitzvah beside a soldier swearing allegiance to the State of Israel. You are now standing in front of the Western Wall, the closest place to where once lay the Holy of Holies, the chamber inside the temple, traditionally believed to have housed the Ark of the Covenant. It is for this reason that over the past 350 years, the Western Wall has become the site for Jewish ritual and worship, as well as a national symbol for the State of Israel and the return to the Promised Land after 2,000 years of exile. Many believe that the divine presence of God never leaves this site. And so at every hour of every night and day, Jews come to the wall to pray, cry, and open their hearts to God. This is why the Western Wall is also often named the Wailing Wall. The cracks between the ancient stones of the wall are overflowing with small paper notes, carrying the hopes and wishes of millions of people. According to Jewish tradition, prayers ascend directly to heaven from the Western Wall. Wilson's Arch is an ancient stone arch that was part of a series of arches that supported a bridge that connected between the Temple Mount and the Upper City. It was named after the British explorer Charles William Wilson, who identified the arch in 1864. The striking size of Wilson's Arch, that once spanned 42 feet, along with enormous stones, serve as a reminder of the astonishing building expertise of King Herod. Today, Wilson's Arch serves as a synagogue and contains many Torah scrolls used for bar mitzvahs, weekday and Shabbat services. The area by the Western Wall is divided into two sections, the men's section and the women's section. In Jewish tradition, men and women pray separately in order to keep the minds pure of improper thoughts. The Jerusalem Archaeological Park, located just south of the Western Wall, is considered Israel's most important antiquity site. Over 5,000 years of history can be seen here. However, the park is most famous for the ample Second Temple period artifacts and structures discovered in the area. The unveiling of ancient roads, houses and marketplaces built by King Herod make it possible to travel back in time to the days of King David and Solomon. Here at the southern part of the Western Wall, you can see the remains of what is called Robinson's Arch. It was named after the American scholar Edward Robinson, who first identified it in 1838. Robinson's Arch is the only remnant from the great arch stairway that led to Temple Mount and served as a major entrance point for thousands of pilgrims who came from all corners of the land to the temple in Jerusalem to offer sacrifice to God. With a bit of imagination and a touch of technology, we might be able to see the temple come back to life before our eyes. Beit HaMikdash, the Jewish temple, was one of the most impressive and awe-inspiring structures of that time. Its beauty is even referenced to in the Talmud, as it is said, "Whoever has not seen Beit HaMikdash standing high has never seen splendor in his life." It was designed by Herod to strike reverence into all those who came to Jerusalem and was a tribute to the accomplishments of man and the greatness of God. The temple was the center of the Jewish spiritual world. It was built on the site believed to be where Abraham nearly sacrificed his only son Isaac as a test of faith. It is in the temple that the Holy of the Holies, Kodesh HaKodashim, once was. Only the high priest was allowed into the Holy of Holies, and even he was only permitted to enter on the most sacred Jewish day, the Day of Atonement, Yom Kippur. This concludes our tour to the Western Wall, the most sacred site in modern-day Judaism. The Western Wall represents the past